And what I want to do now is to use this opportunity to call for the unconditional release of all those that are still unjustly imprisoned. There are still some protesters that have been imprisoned since 2020. Lawyers have been on the case, different shouts every day, but till now they are still there. We are using this work once again to call on all those concerned for the unconditional release of all protesters that are still in prison till now.
Amnesty International has revealed that some protesters arrested during the ENDSARS protest of 2020 are still being arbitrarily detained 3 years later. It said 15 of the arrested protesters are still in custody. The international organization on Friday said in a statement on its website that the majority of the protesters are in Kirikiri Medium Correctional Center and Ikoyi Medium Security Correctional Center in Lagos without trial. The organization also accused the authorities of filing trumped-up charges including theft, arson, possession of unlawful firearms, and murder against many of the protesters. Our investigation shows the Nigerian authorities' utter disdain for human rights. 3 years in detention without trial is a travesty of justice. This shows the authorities' contempt for due process of law. The protesters must be immediately and unconditionally released, said Issa Sanusi, director of Amnesty International Nigeria. It listed 7 ENDSARS protesters: Daniel Joy Igbo, Sadiq Adigun, Sunday Okoro, Olumide Fatai, Oluwole Issa, Shehu Anas, and Akiniran Oyetakin, who have been arbitrarily held in Kirikiri Medium Correctional Center, while another 8 protesters, Shegun Adini, Honora Odi, Jeremiah Loki, Gideon Ikujoma, Irinyemi Olonwambe, Quadri Aziz, Lamide Lekon, and Sadiq Rilwan, according to the organization, are currently detained without trial in Ikoyi Medium Security Correctional Center in Lagos since 2020. One of those detained, Daniel Joy Igbo, a Beninese, arrested in Lagos in October 2020, told Amnesty International that he had been detained at the Bar Beach Police Station, the State Criminal Investigation Department in Kwanti, and at a SARS facility in Ikeja. Since my arraignment in December 2020, I have been locked up in the prison without trial. Since then, there has been no adjourned date for my case. I have not been taken to court since December 2020, he said. Sadiq Adigun, also arrested in October 2020, who was also previously detained at the State Criminal Investigation Department in Kwanti, said, "Let the government release me. I have been detained since 2020 without trial. I am innocent. My life has been shattered. I need my liberty," he said. Meanwhile, Nigerian skit maker Adibowale Adedayo, popularly known as Mr. Macaroni, and other Nigerians gathered at Lekki Toll Gate in Lagos on Friday to mark the 3rd anniversary of the shootings that happened during the ENDSARS protest on October 2020. Meanwhile, there was a heavy presence of police officers at the Lekki Toll Gate. Lagos State Commissioner of Police Idowu Owonwa and other top police officers were also in the area. Recall that reporters had reported that the Lagos State Police warned that it would not tolerate any form of gathering at the toll gate in the Lekki area of the state. Recall that ENDSARS protest was a public outcry for an end to police brutality, extrajudicial killings, extortion, and abuse of power, especially by officers of the defunct Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS. The protests, which started off peacefully, led to the disbandment of SARS by the federal government of Nigeria. The protests, however, turned violent as hoodlums took advantage of the situation, burned police stations and public facilities, and carried out attacks on officers and citizens. The protest was brought to a halt on October 20th when officers of the Nigerian army shot at the protesters, killing and injuring some of them, mostly youth protesters.